Hey everyone, welcome back. Have you ever found yourself in a conversation and suddenly you can't find the right words? Your English just isn't flowing the way you want it to, right? I get it. It's frustrating. You're trying your best, but you feel like something is holding you back. A lot of us struggle with this, especially when we have to think in English while speaking. But here's the truth: if you're constantly translating from your native language, it's slowing you down. If you've been wishing you could just speak more fluently and confidently, you're in the right place. Today, we're going to focus on how to stop that translation process and instead learn to think directly in English. Yes, this is a skill you can develop, and by the end of this video, I'm going to share how you can make this your reality. We've all been there before. You know the words, you understand the grammar, but when it's time to speak, everything freezes up. You may know the right vocabulary, you can build perfect sentences, but when the moment comes to speak, your brain hesitates. So why does this happen? One of the biggest reasons is because we often rely on translating from our first language to English. At first, this might seem like a natural way to learn. You might think, I'll just translate everything in my head and then speak. But here's the problem: translation slows everything down. Imagine you're talking to someone in real life. They don't wait for you to translate, do they? No. Conversations happen quickly, and you need to respond just as fast. If you're always translating, you're going to be too slow. Now, here's the good news. Thinking in English is a skill, and like any skill, you can develop it over time. You can train your brain to think directly in English, which will help you speak faster and more naturally. Let's talk about why translation isn't the best way to learn English, even if it feels like a good shortcut at first. When you first start learning a language, translation can be helpful to get you started, but over time, translation actually gets in the way of your fluency. Why? Because the process of thinking in your first language and translating to English adds a delay. You're not thinking in real time. You're constantly going back and forth between languages. And here's another issue: translation is not always accurate. Different languages have different structures. For example, in English, adjectives usually come before nouns, but in other languages, the order might be reversed. So, when you try to translate word by word, your sentences might sound awkward or worse, wrong. Imagine you're trying to say something important, but the translation makes your sentence sound unnatural. Not only does this make it harder for you to speak, but it might make it difficult for others to understand you. The goal is to train yourself to think directly in English. This way, you'll speak faster, more confidently, and sound more natural. Practical tips for thinking in English. So, how can you start thinking in English? Let's explore some easy ways to practice this every single day. Describe what you see. One of the easiest ways to start thinking in English is by describing things around you. This might sound simple, but it works. Look around you right now and say to yourself in your mind, I see a tree, or I'm walking to the store, or there's a blue car. It doesn't matter if you're speaking out loud or just thinking it in your head. This helps you form thoughts in English without translating. The more you do this, the easier it will be for you to think in English. Think about your day. Another useful method is to think about your day in English. Start in the morning by planning your day in English. Today, I will work from 9 a.m., or I will meet my friend for lunch. At the end of the day, reflect on your activities. I went to the store, I watched a movie, or I cooked dinner. Doing this quietly in your mind allows you to practice your English thinking without feeling pressured to speak aloud. Use visual thinking. Visual thinking is a powerful tool. When you see something, a chair, a table, a phone, don't ask yourself, "What is this in English?" Just think. Chair, table, phone. Try to make this a habit. The more you do this, the quicker your brain will start thinking in English automatically. It's like a mental switch that happens over time. This helps build the English part of your brain, so you don't have to translate words in your head anymore. Shadowing technique. Another fantastic technique is called shadowing. Shadowing means repeating what a native speaker says as soon as you hear it. For example, if you listen to a podcast and hear someone say, "I am going to the store," repeat it out loud immediately, with the same rhythm, tone, and pronunciation. This technique will train your brain to recognize and reproduce English quickly and fluently. It's like practicing to speak without thinking, just like a native speaker. Even 5 to 10 minutes of shadowing each day can make a big difference. Use English for simple tasks. While you're doing simple tasks like walking, cooking, or cleaning, use those moments to think in English. For example, if you're cooking, think, "I am adding salt to the soup," or "I am stirring the pasta." This method helps your brain associate everyday actions with English words and phrases. It's a great way to practice when you don't have to concentrate hard on learning. And it works well because you don't need complex vocabulary. You just describe what you're doing. Now, let's break down a simple daily plan that can help you build this thinking in English habit morning. Start your day by thinking in English. Before you check your phone or get busy with your routine, take 1 minute to think about your plans for the day in English. For example, today, I will go to work at 9 a.m. I will study English for 30 minutes. I will meet my friend at 6 p.m. This simple exercise can help you mentally prepare to think in English for the rest of the day. As you move through your day, keep describing the things you see and do in English. You don't need to say it out loud. Just think about it. For example, if you see someone walking their dog, think, "I see a man walking a dog." Or if you're at work, think, "I am typing an email." This helps you stay in the English mindset all day long. Shadowing incorporate. Shadowing into your routine. Find a podcast or a video in English. Listen to it, and repeat what the speaker says immediately. You don't need to worry about being perfect, just practice. This will help your brain adjust to English speech patterns and pronunciation, making it easier to speak quickly and naturally. Night before you go to bed. Take a few moments to reflect on your day in English. Think about what you did, where you went, and what you learned. For example, I went to the supermarket, I made lunch, I watched a movie, I called my sister. This quiet reflection will help reinforce your English thinking and make it a part of your daily routine. Thinking in English is not an overnight skill. It takes time, practice, and patience. In the beginning, you might only think in English for 10% of your day, but with consistency, that number will grow. You'll start to notice small changes at first. Then, gradually, you'll realize that you're thinking in English without even trying. Remember, your brain is used to your first language, and shifting to English is a gradual process. But keep practicing, and soon, thinking in English will become second nature. And when that happens, you'll find that speaking English is much easier and more natural. If you're ready to start thinking in English, try these tips and start small. Over time, you'll see big results. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more videos on improving your English fluency. Share this video with your friends who are learning English too. Let's build our English skills together. Keep practicing and believing in yourself. See you next time.